Good evening here at the Sanma Stadium, where today we have a very exciting fixture. Real Mallorca are going to be facing up against Real Madrid. We're just about 11 minutes away from kickoff, and we still have plenty to talk about in this pre-post matchup. We don't have a lot of time, so let's just get right into it. First of all, my name is Daniel Armstrong, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's YouTube Play Red Live channel. I'm sure there's plenty of those Real Madrid fans watching out here today, and of course plenty of those Real Mallorca fans. An important match for both of these sides, two teams in two very different situations, and we're just gonna go over it a bit before we get into the kickoff. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, make sure to leave a like, and to turn on push notifications to never miss any matches week in, week out. So let's just get right into it and talk about last week out for Real Mallorca and compare it a bit with how it's just been going within the last few weeks. So the last result last week for Real Mallorca was up against Elche, where they did take a loss, a very crucial loss, I would say, 2-1 away at the Elche Stadium, where Real Mallorca were beaten in their most recent La Liga match. Despite taking the lead in the second half, Pablo Torre opened up the scoring for Real Mallorca, but Elche responded quickly with goals from Rafa Mir and from Tete Morente, turning the game around and securing all the 3 points at home. Mallorca couldn't find the late equalizer and left empty-handed. It was a very disappointing one. It was a match that Real Mallorca should have been walking away with the 3 points, or with at least a point, up against a weaker Elche side in the La Liga division. You know, I think ever since the new manager Martin De Michelis has arrived for Real Mallorca, within these last few weeks it's been a lot more positive than it really ever has been through this season. You know, if you're a Mallorca fan, you're aware that it's just not been going the way it should have. It really hasn't, and it's just been an incredibly disappointing season. But I think when we're looking at the positives, the new manager, he really has come in. He's put in a bit of a new dynamic. He's brought a lot of confidence into some of these players. And Real Mallorca are slowly but surely starting to look better. And I mean, last week out, Real Mallorca take the lead in the second half. And, you know, when you're winning 1-0 in the 89th minute, you can't be giving away the equalizer and then another goal. They conceded a goal in the 89th, and then they go ahead and concede another in the 94th, when all you have to do, first of all, is hold on to that lead and then hold on to the draw. It really was a match where Real Mallorca should have been walking away with the points. It was really disappointing outcome, and the performance wasn't even so great. It really wasn't that good. We should have seen better last week out. But again, you know, that's gone by. It's time to look past it. We're aware of how important every match is from now on forwards. And facing one of the biggest teams in European football out here today, you know, Elche have lost, Levante have lost. Those are all teams behind Real Mallorca or near them in that relegation zone or at the bottom of the table. If Real Mallorca get a win out there today, you know, it doesn't matter if it's Madrid or Barcelona. You just, at this point, Mallorca shouldn't be looking at the opponents. They just need to go for any type of points they can get. And I mean, obviously a result out here today would be massive. It would take them out of the relegation zone, as Elche lost and Levante also just lost a few minutes ago to Real Sociedad, losing 2-0 away from home. Deportivo Alavés and Sevilla, both teams that are yet to play their matches. So, you know, there's a lot to play for out here today for Real Mallorca. Early on throughout the season, I wouldn't have said that Real Mallorca would be going down. You know, we were aware that Real Mallorca were doing bad, but I never would have imagined that we'd be this far into the season and Real Mallorca would still be sitting down below at 17th, 18th place. You know, they really have had the chances to bring it back. And it's getting really late now. There's only about 9 matches left of the La Liga division. And if they don't start to get points very soon, that, you know, Real Mallorca could potentially be looking at going down this season. You know, and it really would be a shame. If we're looking at the recent matches between these two sides, the face-to-faces, Real Mallorca have won only one out of their last 5 La Liga matches, and Real Madrid have won 3 out of their last 5 matches. Now, it is true that Real Madrid recently have had a bit of a drop in their performance. Usually Real Madrid is the type of team that week in, week out, they'd be winning. Would never really see them give away results, never really lose, never really draw. But recently, Real Madrid have been going through a bit of a phase. They've not been at their usual top self-performance. Of course, they are still second in the La Liga division, and in the Champions League, obviously, they're absolutely killing it. And when are they not? They are the kings of the Champions League. They are European rulers. They're a really, really tough opponent, but I think this season in La Liga, they've started to struggle a little bit. They've dropped, a lot of matches that they should have been winning. And I think Real Madrid could definitely have a chance of pulling a result out here today. And I mean, after all, Real Madrid's reputation at this stadium, they do struggle to get big results out here today. They do struggle to get goals when it comes to playing at the Son Moix Stadium. Real Madrid have actually won just 2 of their last 5 visits at the Son Moix Stadium. Yes, 2 out of the last 5 times that Real Madrid have come here at this stadium, they've only managed to win 2 of them. So, again, I think when it comes to Real Madrid coming out here, they do struggle to play. Of course, you can never doubt, huge teams like this, but I think Real Mallorca just have to play with everything they've got out here today. And I mean, if they want to prove something to the fans, it's to at least put in a good performance out there. If we talk about last time out for Real Madrid, last week out, well, technically last 2 weeks, obviously it's been international break, Real Madrid edged a thrilling Madrid derby in their most recent La Liga match, winning 3-2 in a high-intensity game where Real Madrid were clinical in attack, especially on the counter-attack, and managed to outscore Atletico de Madrid in an open contest, holding on to a late to secure all the 3 points in a dramatic encounter. Also, they did manage to pick up a red card for Federico Valverde, who's currently arguably Real Madrid's most dangerous player at the minute. What a player Federico Valverde is. And I tell you what, it's really lucky for Real Mallorca that he will be missing out here today due to him picking up a red card last week out. So a bit of an advantage at least for Real Mallorca. And a big miss, I would argue, for Real Madrid, because again, he's a huge player in all perspectives for Real Madrid. When it comes to offensive, when it comes to defensive, he's an absolute machine. He is all over the place. He can score goals, he can defend, he can tackle, he's the whole deal. So, a massive advantage for him to be missing. But for me, I think one of the main threats out there today is going to be the counter-attacking play from Real Madrid. And we've seen, just like their last matchup up against Atletico de Madrid, that Real Madrid on the counter-attacks have proven to be just so dangerous. They really do know how to make the most of a good counter-attack. And especially with the helps of Federico Valverde and Kylian Mbappe, I would argue, and Vinicius Jr. Obviously, they have many talented players, but I think that's going to be one of the main weaknesses for Real Mallorca out there today, is going to be, Real Madrid just breaking on the counter-attack. And we've seen Real Mallorca struggle to contain counter-attacks. Defensively, they are, I would argue, probably the weakest side in the La Liga this season. They've conceded 47 goals in 29 league matches this season. 47 goals. A really poor defensive record for Real Mallorca this season. And it's so strange because last season, you could argue that, defensively, they were one of the strongest by far. But this season, I don't know, it's just the complete opposite for them. And when you play a team like Real Madrid that just know how to break so well on the counter-attack, defensively, you've got to be at your best. So now we have both of these teams walking out of the tunnel and onto the pitch. And you can hear the Real Mallorca fans singing the Real Mallorca anthem. Plenty of attendance out here today, as you would expect, of course, when the big teams. So now we're just about a few minutes away from kickoff here at the Son Mas Stadium, where one of the biggest European leaders will be taking on Real Mallorca here at the Son Mas Stadium. What to expect or what not to expect is the question for Real Mallorca out there today, and also the question for Real Madrid. Second place for Real Madrid at the minute with 69 points on the table, meaning they've won 22 matches, they've drawn 3 and they've lost 4. And two teams with two very dangerous strikers, of course. On one side, you've got Kylian Mbappe, the leader currently of the most goals in the LaLiga division with 23 goals to his name so far. And on the other side, you've got the second leader for maximum goal scorers also in the LaLiga division, Real with 18 goals to his name. So you've got two teams with the two most dangerous strikers in the LaLiga division. And I think the question is there going to be goals from either of these two strikers out here today? No Vinicius Jr. starting for Real Madrid out there today. He is on the bench for Real Madrid and he won't be starting in this one. And of course for Real Mallorca we have the usuals. And we've had plenty of these players coming back from the international break, some of them catching the attention of plenty of eyes. Of course, Samu Costa has been putting in brilliant performances for Portugal on his international break, and Vedam Muriqi so close to qualifying for the World Cup qualifiers with his team Kosovo, where they just couldn't manage to bring it home, losing 1-0 to Turkey, an absolute heartbreak for him. Real Mallorca playing in the classic red and black, and Real Madrid, as always, playing in the classic white. Sergi Darder, Samu Costa and Manu Morlanes all making their 100th appearance for the club out here today. There's the man, Kylian Mbappe, the main man for Real Madrid. So now the referee blows his whistle and we kick off here at the Son Mas Stadium. And the ball is rolling here in the Son Mas Stadium. The sun is out, it's a beautiful evening, and hopefully we're in for a brilliant matchup. I think you never really know what to expect when two teams like this play each other. Of course, Leo Roman starts between the two sticks for Real Mallorca. And then Lunin also starts for Real Madrid between the two sticks. Nothing different from either of these two sides. And starting up front for Real Madrid is Mbappe, and by his side is Brahim Diaz. Two very talented players, of course. Trying to play that long ball forward, looking for Kylian Mbappe. Just couldn't work out for him. The rebound does fall to him. And then the offside flag goes up, so it wouldn't have counted either way. Kylian Mbappe, what a player he is. 23 goals. And he has been out injured for he's missed about 10 LaLiga matches, I believe. But even so, he still remains first place for the most goals in the La Liga division. And of course behind him is the pirate Vedat Muriqi. And it's so curious to what we're going to see from both of these strikers out here today. The two most dangerous strikers in the La Liga division. Of course, one playing in the team who's fighting to win the La Liga division, and the other one who's fighting to stay in the La Liga division. It's very, very curious. A very interesting fact. The coach for Real Madrid is Álvaro Arbeloa, the former Real Madrid player. So now Pablo Maffeo to take the throw in for Real Mallorca. Plays it short into Samu Costa. Samu Costa commits the foul. So now Real Madrid in possession, and it's Dean Hodgson who kicks it off. And with Courtois going out injured not long ago in a Champions League match, it's a big, big miss for Real Madrid, and a big time to step up for Lunin. He is a brilliant keeper. We have seen him do it before. Now the advantage is going to play as Kylian Mbappe striking down that left wing. Here's Kylian Mbappe, tries putting in the cross. And in the end, it's out for a corner. It's well defended there by Real Mallorca. Just see Pablo Torre puts his foot in, gets there on time. A very lively kickoff here at the minute so far in these first 4 minutes. And it's the first corner in the matchup, and it's awarded for Real Madrid. They take it short. Álvaro Carreras tries putting in the cross. And it falls to Johan Mojica. The offside flag has gone up. Vinicius Jr. on the bench today for Real Madrid. The question is, will he be making an appearance? And trying to put in the cross there is Vedat Muriqi. Puts in that low cross into the second post, looking for someone to find it. There was no one there. The ball rolls out. It's going to be a throw-in for Real Madrid. Here's Álvaro Carreras, giving away another throw-in here at Real Mallorca. It's a good ball there from Vedat Muriqi, looking at the replay, into that second post. But it just doesn't find anyone. You can see what he thinks about that. Álvaro Carreras getting taken down there again. The second time in this matchup. Here's Arda Güler. Only one team has found the net in 5 of the last 10 head-to-head meetings between these two sides. meaning usually only one team to be the goal-scoring one and the other one, well, the more defensive one. And when these two sides do face each other, we don't really usually see a goal fest. It's not usually a goal-scoring type of match, but it's more of a who can make the most of their chances type of match, I would argue. So now Arda Güler playing it into Kylian Mbappe. What can he do from here on the left wing, taking on Pablo Maffeo? He tries finding the cross and in the end plays it back to Alvaro Carreras. And you can already see Kylian Mbappe striking down that left wing position, trying to cause trouble for Real Mallorca. And just look at how quickly he is with his feet. And also another player who played very well off on international break for France was Kylian Mbappe, scoring plenty of goals for the French national squad. Here's Angel. Angel into Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni back to Rudiger. Rudiger into Lunin. Real Madrid keeping control of the possession so far. And Real Mallorca haven't really had a proper sniff of the ball yet. And Lunin tries playing the long ball there into Alvaro Carreras, but it just goes over his head. It's going to be a throw-in now for Real Mallorca. And Real Mallorca haven't kept a clean sheet in the last 15 matches in a row. And as I mentioned, just defensively, it's been such a poor season. And I think offensively, this Real Mallorca side, you know, it's having one of the best offensive seasons they've ever had, realistically. But it's just the defense that's been laying them down, conceding goal after goal, giving away results. So now Samu Costa. Kylian Mbappe gets it back for Real Madrid. Tchouaméni switching out to the right-hand side. Here's Angel. Angel plays it into Trent. Brahim Diaz trying to play the through ball. Real Madrid still keeping hold of that possession. Trying to backheel it there, Brahim Diaz. Lovely little sneaky pass there. And in the end, very well defended by Real Mallorca. It's going to be a free kick as Sergi Darder was taken down. You can just see Brahim Diaz, he extends his foot, trying to keep hold of the ball, but he just clips Sergi Darder on the side of the foot. Free kick now for Real Mallorca. And Mbappe, 38 goals in 35 appearances this season, averaging 1 goal every 76 minutes. And I mean, what's an impressive stat for him. What a player he is. One definitely to look out for out there today. An interesting fact is that Kylian Mbappe has actually never scored here before. He's never scored in the Son Mas Stadium. Will he change that out here today? Or will he remain another season goalless at the Son Mas Stadium? So now Pablo Torre. And Real Mallorca finally getting a bit of the possession now. And I think that's what we're going to see throughout most of this match. Real Madrid in control. And I think when Real Mallorca play these type of top teams, we don't really see them much in control of the ball. It's more Real Mallorca defending, breaking on the counter-attack, and trying to make the most of their chances. It's going to be a free kick here as Luvumbo was taken down by Hudson. They take it quickly, and the ball goes all the way back to Leo Roman. And just look at how high up Real Madrid are playing. They obviously want to put on the pressure. Lovely ball in touch here by Vedat Muriqi. He plays into Luvumbo. Luvumbo turns around. He tries putting in the cross. And the ball is gone out. It's going to be a corner for Real Mallorca. And a lovely little play there by Luvumbo. Just does the little fake. He turns around. Skips away from Hudson. He puts in the cross looking for Vedat Muriqi. And Antonio Rudiger was there to clear it. The first proper chance now for Real Mallorca. And their first corner of the matchup. Can they make anything from it? Here's Sergi Darder. Puts in the cross. It's cleared by Antonio Rudiger. And right into the hands of Lunin. So now Real Madrid back in possession. And it's actually the first starting match for Luvumbo for Real Mallorca. Ever since coming on loan, he has made 2 or 3 appearances for Real Mallorca, but this is actually his first starting matchup in the starting lineup. I think he has been playing well ever since making his first appearance for the club. And another big name, I think, for Real Mallorca has been Pablo Torre. Ever since the arrival of Martin de Michelis, Pablo Torre's been making casual appearances now in the starting lineup for Real Mallorca, and he's definitely proving to deserve it. Now, lovely little cross there from Luvumbo, trying to find Vedat Muriqi. It was dealt with by Antonio Rudiger, but you can see what the strategy is out there today for Real Mallorca. Put the ball into the penalty area and look for the pirate. I think that's been their tactic so far. We have seen Vedat Muriqi score goals up against this Real Madrid side before. And when it comes to heading chances, I would argue he's one of the best to do it in the LaLiga division. So now another corner here for Real Mallorca. And it's the second corner they've had in this matchup. It's going to be Pablo Torre to put in the cross. The referee's having a word with a few of these players in the box. Can they find Vedat Muriqi is the question. Pablo Torre puts in the cross. Vedat Muriqi does find it. It just skims his head. Goes through to that second post. Good effort there from Real Mallorca, but not good enough. Pablo Maffeo intercepting the pass. And there's Arbeloa walking up to the sidelines to have a word with his players. So far in these first 15 minutes, I would argue it's definitely been an equal matchup. And Real Madrid haven't seemed far too dangerous yet. Now, good tackle there to take down Kylian Mbappe. And in the end, the referee blows his whistle. He's not going to be booked, but he just tells him to go have a word with Mbappe to apologize. And it looked like the referee was reaching for his pocket, but I think he just changed his mind. And I mean, it's a clean tackle. He does get the ball, but maybe it's just a bit too reckless. It's definitely not bad at all. He definitely gets the ball. And I think the only reason the referee didn't book him is because he apologized, because it just looked like to me he was originally reaching for his pocket. Now, what ball that is there into Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe gets the shot off. He's just looking for that bottom right corner. Now the header there by Angel. And it falls to Leo Roman. So 2 chances there for Real Madrid. And you can see every time Kylian Mbappe gets the ball on that left-hand side, he always has a minimum of 2 players on him. And I think that's Real Mallorca's main idea out there today, to just always keep an eye on Kylian Mbappe. So now, foul committed there by Real Mallorca. Manu Morlanes just steps on Angel there. There's the previous header from Angel. It was going on target, just not enough power on it. So now Real Madrid still in possession. And both of these teams have had a few chances. Of course, Real Madrid have had 1 or 2 more, and they do look slightly better. Possession-wise, they are dominating, I would argue, but it's not been too bad at all from both of these sides so far. So now Johan Mojica keeps the ball in play, but he gives it away to the opponents. Now Real Madrid can make the most of this one. Brahim Diaz plays it out wide to Kylian Mbappe, a bit too wide maybe. Mbappe plays the through ball into Camavinga. He just slips on his touch there, Eduardo Camavinga, and he gives away the goal kick. Cheeky little no-look pass there from Kylian Mbappe. And you can see he's looking very confident so far. So now Leo Roman to take the goal kick. And I will say, what a beautiful kickoff we've had out here today. A shining blue sky. So now a lovely little flick there by Kylian Mbappe. The pass was intercepted. Here's Real Mallorca. Vela Muriqi. He gets taken down there by Angel. It's going to be a free kick for Real Mallorca. You can just see, just steps on his toe there. Just clips him there. Vela Muriqi. So a free kick for Real Mallorca, and they're going to take it quickly. And we've not yet had a shot on target by Real Mallorca. 20 minutes in here. There's been 1 shot on target for Real Madrid and 0 for Real Mallorca. It's been end-to-end, I would argue, from both sides. Here's Luvumbo, he brings it down, he plays into Vela Muriqi on that left-hand side. He tries putting in the low cross. Manu Morlanes. And Arda Güler gets the possession back for Real Madrid. Could have potentially been a dangerous attack from Real Mallorca. They just couldn't make the most of it. I'm just wondering if Martin de Michelis is happy with how the Real Mallorca side has been playing so far. Defensively it has been solid, but we're not really seeing much on the offensive, which is usually their stronger side this season. So now here comes Alvaro Carreras into Kylian Mbappe. Kylian back to Alvaro. And they're going to switch it to the other side. Angel into Guller. Guller back to Angel. Camavinga. What a ball that is there, looking for Brahim Diaz. The pass is intercepted by Martin Valgent. Very well defended from Real Mallorca. Now they could have a chance. Muriqi tries passing it into Luvumbo. Just looks like he was in an offside position either way, so it wouldn't have counted. It's going to be a throw-in for Real Madrid. Camavinga into Hudson. Lunin. And I will say, I would have expected a bit more from Real Madrid in this first match, in this first half. But Real Madrid, they haven't exactly been attacking as much as I thought they would. What ball into Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe gets the shot off. What a save by Leo Roman. And of course, as I said that, the first proper chance there for Real Madrid. Lovely ball from Alvaro Carreras into Kylian Mbappe. He's one-on-one versus the goalkeeper. He just tries looking for that first post. And Leo Roman makes the big save for Real Mallorca to keep them in this one. It's going to be a corner for Real Madrid. And Antonio Rudiger gets on the edge of it. Sends it far too high over that crossbar. What ball that was there from Alvaro Carreras. It's a good save, a very good save from Leo Roman. He hits it with plenty of power. Just maybe hits it a bit too center towards the goal there, Kylian Mbappe. It was a big chance for Real Madrid to take the lead in the first half. And now Real Madrid still in possession. Here's Arda Güler. Arda Güler playing into Camavinga. Camavinga with a terrible touch. A chance wasted there by Real Madrid. And look at the ball there from Arda Güler. What a pass. The touch from Camavinga there is very, very questionable. And he gives away the goal kick. That's 6 attempts now from Real Madrid. But still 0 goals converted. They're starting to look a lot more dangerous as the time goes by. The first big chance was for Kylian Mbappe. Couldn't make the most of it. And at the minute, we have 43% possession for Mallorca and 57 for Real Madrid. Here's another lovely ball into Kylian Mbappe, who gets the shots off. And another huge save there by Leo Roman. What a chance for Mbappe. Leo Roman makes himself wide. Flies like a cat and makes that save. It's going to be another corner for Real Madrid. And another big save for Leo Roman. And I'll tell you what, Real Madrid are really, really going for that first goal. Here's the corner taken by Arda Güler. And the header by Antonio Rudiger is off target. So another goal kick for Leo Roman. Tell you what, there's the chance again there from Kylian Mbappe. This time he looks for the second post. He just looks to put it across. Leo Roman makes the guess. He knows he's going to hit it there. And he makes the brilliant save. So now here's Maffeo. Maffeo looking for Luvumbo, who gets taken down. No free kick for Real Mallorca as the play continues. And Real Madrid stay in possession. And I'll tell you what, Kylian Mbappe is starting to look very, very dangerous on that left-hand side. He's had 2 very big chances now. And they keep on playing those through balls into him. And Real Mallorca just don't know how to deal with it. So now Camavinga into Álvaro Carreras. Arda Güler into Brahim Diaz. Brahim Diaz turns around very well and he plays it to the other side. Here's Angel. Angel is driving forward. He tries playing into Trent. They just don't understand each other there. Trent doesn't make the run. So a goal kick now for Real Mallorca. 27 minutes in here now, 26. And so far, both of these sides goalless. At the beginning, it was looking good, I would argue, for both sides. But now it's just starting to edge a lot more towards Real Madrid as they're starting to create more and more chances. So now Pablo Torre tries skipping past Álvaro Carreras. And a free kick for Real Mallorca. Does well there, Pablo Torre, to skip past his man. And Real Mallorca have the free kick now. Can they make anything from this? Here's Samu Costa into Pablo Torre, Sergi Darder. Good little build-up play here from Real Mallorca. Sergi Darder still in possession. They play it all the way back to Leo Roman. And Real Madrid are just making it difficult for Real Mallorca to play the ball forward. They don't really let them keep a lot of the possession. And every time they get the ball back, they press them, and they force them to lose it. That seems to be their tactic for Real Madrid in this matchup. And Trent giving away the throw-in. So now Real Mallorca will stay in possession. Here's Pablo Torre into Mojica. Mojica's going to try and put in the cross. Rudiger clears the ball, deals with that danger. The referee blows his whistle and awards a free kick for Real Madrid. You can see what the players think about that one. We'll take a look here. And you can see he does slightly grab him there at the end of that one. So a free kick for Real Madrid. So now Real Madrid back in possession. And I will say, I mean, it's not been the most exciting first half, but it's not been a very, very quiet one either. We've had chances from both of these sides. 2 very dangerous chances for Real Madrid. But the difference is none of them have managed to get a goal yet. So still 0-0 in this one. Real Madrid intercept that pass. They get possession back. Real Mallorca. Here's Mojica. He tries playing the long ball into Luvumbo. The offside flag goes up. So now Real Madrid back in possession and they take it very quickly. And every time there's a free kick or a corner for Real Madrid, they just take it very quickly. They don't even give me a chance to announce it. And it's the same, I think, for Real Mallorca. It's a very high-paced matchup. The foul committed there on Brahim Diaz. Omar Mascarell taking him down there. You can see what he thinks about that one. There's not an awful lot on it. And you can see the Real Mallorca players are starting to get a bit frustrated with the referee's decisions. So now here's Camavinga. Camavinga into Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni into Hudson. Álvaro Carreras into Güler. Camavinga. He does very well. Sergi Darder gets the ball back for Real Mallorca. Leo Roman kicking the ball up forward. Kicks out of play. Poor giveaway there from Real Mallorca, and Real Madrid get the possession back once more. And Real Mallorca have scored just 5 goals in their last 5 matches. They've not exactly been in very top form when it comes to scoring goals. And it's going to be even more of a struggle against this side up here today. Lovely ball there from Lunin into Arda Güler. Here's Mbappe. Mbappe out wide to Álvaro Carreras. Tchouaméni into Mbappe, who gets taken down. No free kick for him as the play continues. The touch from Samu Costa is poorly given away. Here's Álvaro Carreras. He tries putting in the cross. And the danger was dealt with. Samu Costa into Pablo Torre. No free kick. The play continues. Here's Mbappe. Mbappe into Arda Güler. He puts in the low cross. It's cleared by Leo Roman. And chance after chance at the minute for Real Madrid. Here's Brahim Diaz up against Mojica. Trent putting in the cross. It falls to Arda Güler. He gets the shot off. And another big save there by Leo Roman. The Real Mallorca players had their hands up, waiting for the offside to be given, but there was no offside by the looks of it. And Leo Roman once again keeping their side in this one. What a keeper he is. So now Angel into Brahim Diaz. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold. He looks for Tchouaméni. The pass was intercepted. Now Luvumbo could have a chance. He just can't manage to bring it down. The referee awards the free kick. As Hudson, you can just see, uses his hands to take him down. And I mean, just look at the size of him beside Luvumbo. If he even uses his hands a little bit, I think the referee's going to award the free kick. There's not too much on it, but if you use your hands, the foul has to be given. So now Sergi Darder into Omar Mascarell. Here's Omar. Omar playing that long ball into Pablo Maffeo. He brings it down. Maffeo tries putting in the cross. He does find Vidal Muriqi. Turns around. What a chance that was for Vidal Muriqi. And the rebound falls to Manu Morlanes, who sends it over the crossbar. And what a chance for Real Mallorca to take the lead. The turn there from Vidal Muriqi was absolutely spectacular. Antonio Rudiger leaps up. He clears it first. And then the rebound falls easily for Manu Morlanes. How has he missed that? He has absolutely no one on him. All he has to do is push it into the net, and he sends it over the crossbar. What a chance that was there for Real Mallorca. And I'll tell you what, the interception there from Antonio Rudiger was just brilliant. It does look like there's contact on him, but I don't think the referee went over to check anything. So now the play continues and Sergi Derder can drive forward. He looks to play into Luvumbo. He can't make the pass work out. They try playing another long ball into Luvumbo and it's going to be a throw-in for Real Madrid. Here's a look at the chance again, and the turn there from Muriqi is spectacular. And all Manu Morlanes has to do is finish it off. The rebound, it's there for him. He doesn't have any pressure on him. It's a really, really poor chance, a really poor finish from Manu Morlanes. And Vera Muriqi did spectacular to perform the turn. So the first proper big chance there for Real Mallorca. And now here's Real Madrid in control of the possession. Alvaro Carreras on that left wing. He plays it into Mbappe. The pass is intercepted by Maffeo. Camavinga takes the throw in quickly. So the foul's committed there on Samu Costa, and we're 37 minutes in here now. And at the minute, still 0-0 in this matchup. A dangerous foul there committed by Eduardo Camavinga. So now Leo Roman plays the long ball looking for Luvumbo. And he's just been struggling in this matchup, Luvumbo, up against Hodgson. And physically, Hodgson, he's just been outstrengthening him every time. And there's not really much Luvumbo can do about it. So now here's Trent. He's going to switch it all the way out to Arda Güler. Arda Güler into Mbappe. Mbappe out wide to Alvaro Carreras. Camavinga into Brahim Diaz. Here's Trent Alexander. He tries putting in the low cross. Sergi Derder clearing it. Real Madrid keep the possession. Here's Kylian Mbappe on this left-hand side. Up against Pablo Maffeo. What can he do? Kylian Mbappe! He just tries to cut in on his right foot and perform the shot. The shot was blocked, so a throw-in for Real Madrid. Now Dean Hodgson out wide to Carreras. Carreras into Mbappe. Arda Güler. What can he do from here? Arda Güler. He plays into Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe tries skipping past Martin Valgent, who clears the ball away from danger. So another throw-in for Real Madrid. Hodgson plays it all the way back to Lunin. Here's Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni into Camavinga. Camavinga back to Rudiger. And we're just 5 minutes away from the end of the first half. So far, Real Mallorca 0 and Real Madrid 0. Can either of these sides make the difference happen before the end of the first half? Here's Arda Güler, who puts in the low pass, but it falls right to Pablo Torre. He plays it into Luvumbo. Good touch there from Luvumbo. And a throw-in for Real Mallorca. And Real Mallorca beat Real Madrid 1-0 at this venue, both in 2019 and in 2023. So Real Mallorca actually do have a history of beating Real Madrid at this stadium. And as I mentioned at the beginning, Son Moix is a stadium that does cause a little bit of trouble for Real Madrid. What a ball that is there into Pablo Maffeo. Pablo Maffeo is going to put in the cross, looking for Manu Morlanes, and it finds him, and he puts it into the back of the net. And Real Mallorca have taken the lead just before the end of the first half. Manu Morlanes with the touch and finish. 41 minutes in here now, and Real Mallorca lead at the Son Moix Stadium. What a ball that was there from Pablo Maffeo. And the touch and the calmness of the finish from Manu Morlanes is absolutely brilliant. He's made up for his previous miss. He's gone ahead and he's scored. An absolutely brilliant goal from Real Mallorca. And look at the smile on his face. And the difference has been made here before the end of the first half. And it's Real Mallorca. Look at the pass there from Pablo Maffeo. Manu Morlanes, he just comes in completely on his own. There's nobody on him. And I mean, it's really poor from Real Madrid. Just look at the time and space Manu Morlanes has to get the touch, to bring it down, and then to put it away. It really, really is poor defensive awareness from Real Madrid. And it's a brilliant goal from Real Mallorca to take the lead here at the Son Moix Stadium. 42 minutes and a half. And Real Mallorca have taken the lead. The difference has been made. Now, Real Madrid need to answer back. And if they want to do it before the end of the first half, they only have about 2 minutes and a half. And Manu Morlanes, previous to scoring that goal, he missed a massive chance just about 5-10 minutes earlier. And he's now made up for his mistake. He's gone ahead and he's taken the lead for Real Mallorca. And it's funny because just before the goal, the first goal for Real Mallorca, I was just mentioning how Real Madrid have a history of struggling a bit when it comes to playing at the Son Moix Stadium. And they've just not been 100% at it today, Real Madrid. So now here's Pablo Maffeo to take a throw in. And Arda Güler tries making something from that. You just can't keep up with the defensive work from Real Mallorca. Martin Vagent plays it up forward. Here's Samu Costa. Samu Costa plays into Luvumbo. What can he do from here? He plays it back into Samu Costa. Luvumbo again. Tries skipping past his man, and it's going to be a throw-in for Real Mallorca. And all of a sudden, the atmosphere in here is absolutely buzzing. Those Real Mallorca fans singing and jumping up and down. And all of a sudden, Real Mallorca looking a lot better. Keeping a lot more of the possession. So a free kick here now. And we're about to hit the 45th minute marker. I don't think there'll be too many minutes added on. Maybe about 2 or 3. And Lunin to take the free kick for Real Madrid. Takes the free kick. Alvaro Carreras into Dean Hodgson. Back to Lunin. And there's only going to be 1 minute added on of extra time. And what's a way to end the first half for Real Mallorca? Absolutely brilliant. Now trying to play the long ball. Kylian Mbappe gets taken down. He claims for a free kick. Not sure if the referees awarded it or not. In the end, it is going to be a free kick for Real Madrid. So the last chance now for Real Madrid to make a comeback before the end of the first half. Can Real Mallorca hold on to this lead? Trent Alexander-Arnold puts in the pass. Dean Hudson gets on the edge of it. Nothing comes from it. Samu Costa clears it. Arda Güler puts in the cross again. It's cleared. And that is going to be the end of the first half, I believe. And the referee blows for the end of the first half. That is the halftime whistle. A brilliant goal from Real Mallorca. And a brilliant goal from Manu Morlanes. The cross there from Pablo Maffeo into Manu Morlanes is just exceptional. And it's redemption for Manu Morlanes after previously missing that massive chance earlier on from Real Mallorca. And Real Madrid walk into the tunnel, into the dressing room, as you can imagine, not looking too happy. And I think it's been a bit of a poor performance from them so far. You know, possession-wise, there's no question that Real Madrid have held the ball most of the time. 63% possession for Real Madrid and 37%. And offensively going forward, they haven't made much. They've only really had 2 big chances. And they were from Kylian Mbappe on that left wing. And then, of course, we also had the shot from Arda Güler. They have gone forward. They have done well. Defensively, they did all right. But they're just not doing enough. You know, you'd expect a team like Real Madrid to make a really big impact on a match like this, where they're facing a team that's 18th place. They're facing a not so in good form Real Mallorca side at the minute. And they're playing good, they're playing all right, but they're not playing, you know, amazing as Real Madrid usually would be. They're just not, it's not enough. They're not given enough energy, I think. Defensively, they've been all right. Offensively, they've had 2 or 3 chances, but there's just not enough in it. And I think when it comes to Real Mallorca, defensively, they've really been solid. You know, offensively, there's not really been anything going on. They just got, you know, that 1 goal. Then they also had 1 other big chance, and that's really it. But, you know, they broke on the counter-attack, and they made the most of it. Manu Morlanes, you know, previously missed a massive chance, and then now just redeemed himself. And when you look at the goal, you know, the cross from Pablo Maffeo, it's not exactly a very good cross. And Manu Morlanes, he runs in from behind and he just has, there's just no one on him. He just has all the time in the world. He takes a touch. The touch is a heavy touch. The ball goes up in the air. It comes back down. He brings it down and then he shoots, you know. He has all the time in the world to get the touch off, to bring it down, then to shoot. Again, it was really poor defensive awareness, I think, from Real Madrid. And of course, you know, a brilliant goal from Real Mallorca to make the most of it. But again, I definitely just thought that, you know, it really, really wasn't an all-impressive first half from Real Madrid. I think that could have been a lot better. And if Real Madrid do want to get back into this one, they're really, really going to need to push, you know, a bit more, a lot more. Because I think Real Mallorca are proving that they really, really need these 3 points. They really want it. Whereas I just think Real Madrid are playing decent, but there's not enough energy. They don't look very sharp. They're playing decent, but there's just not enough going on. Anyways, we are going to go on a quick break and we'll be back very shortly for the second half. A very positive first half, of course, for Real Mallorca. Real Madrid still need to do a bit more. If Real Mallorca can walk away with any type of result today, it would be huge for them, obviously, but there's still a whole second half to go. They still have to face a very tough, very, very tough Real Madrid side. So we'll see what happens. We'll see you very shortly into the second half. And we are back after that quick short break here and ready for the second half, where currently Real Mallorca are the leaders in this matchup, winning 1-0 up against Real Madrid here at the San Mamés Stadium with a brilliant goal from Manu Morlanes and a brilliant assist from Pablo Maffeo. We still have a very big second half to go, and we have the Real Madrid players and the Real Mallorca players already, and the ball in the center of the pitch where Real Madrid have kicked off the match. So here we go right into this one, and we are ready and very excited for a big second half. And as we know, it's been a very good first half, I would argue, for Real Mallorca, and not so much of a good half for Real Madrid. I think they have a lot to improve and a lot to play for in this second half. Here's Luvumbo. The offside flag goes up, so it wouldn't have counted either way. And with Real Mallorca in the lead, we have seen a tendency this season of Real Mallorca giving away the leads, especially important ones. Hopefully it's not the case out here today. And, playing up against such a difficult side, it's really not going to be easy to hold on another whole second half into this lead. Now, what a ball from Sergi Darder into Luvumbo. Luvumbo skips past his man. It's going to be a free kick. And it's going to be a yellow card for Dean Hudson as he takes down Luvumbo. He just tries cutting in to take the shot off with his left foot. He does very well there, Luvumbo. And now a dangerous free kick for Real Mallorca. And Real Mallorca haven't scored a free kick, a direct free kick, this whole season. And it's a dangerous set-piece play now for Real Mallorca, and a brilliant start to the second half for them. And in that first half, Real Madrid just have proved to not be good enough defensively. Offensively, they had 2 or 3 decent chances from Kylian Mbappe, but it's just not been good enough from them. It's been a brilliant performance so far from Mallorca, it really has. So now Mojica tries taking the shot off. It bounces off of that Real Madrid wall. Mojica keeps the possession at the minute. Puts in the cross, Mojica. The rebound falls to Sergi Darder. He also tries putting in the cross, and the deflection goes out of play. And it's going to be a corner for Real Mallorca. You can just see the deflection there. It comes off of Eduardo Camavinga. And he did very well there, Mojica, in that play, to keep hold of the ball and to play it forward. So now a corner for Real Mallorca. Here's Pablo Torre. Dean Hudson clears and deals with the danger. Real Mallorca keep the possession. Mojica plays the long ball into Samu Costa. Martin Valgent. And in the end, the ball goes out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in for Real Madrid. It was a decent build-up play there from Real Mallorca. And again, a very positive start to the second half. The touch there from Kylian Mbappe is just a bit too heavy. Just lets it slip. It goes out of play, so it's going to be a throw-in for Real Mallorca. Kylian Mbappe claiming that the ball didn't fully go out of play. And And we can see quite a few Real Madrid names warming up on the sidelines already. And you'd think maybe that Arbeloa just isn't happy with how his side has been playing so far in this matchup. Maybe ready to make changes very soon. And I think one of the main stars getting ready for Real Madrid is obviously Vinicius Jr. A very, very brilliant and talented player in this Real Madrid squad. A dangerous player to bring on. And Real Mallorca are just going to have to keep an eye on him. Defensively, it has been very good. And even in the second half, Real Mallorca holding that ball, holding most of the possession. So now Real Madrid finally get the ball back. Vilamuriki puts on a bit of pressure. Alvaro Carreras playing it forward into Mbappe. Good interception there from Maffeo. Here's Lunin out to Rudiger. Antonio Rudiger plays that long ball into Kylian Mbappe. Just doesn't work out for him as Martin Valgent gets there first. And they give the ball back to Real Mallorca. Here's Sergi Darder. Back to Leo Roman. Samu Costa. Leo Roman doesn't take any chances. Plays it up forward. Mojica with a really poor touch to give the ball away. Luckily, Real Madrid can't make the most of it. So now Leo Roman picks the ball up. And Real Madrid haven't made much of an impact in this second half yet. So now Vilamuriki gets his head on it, tries bringing it down. And a free kick for Real Mallorca. As Vilamuriki gets taken down, you can just see there. Angel leaping into Vilamuriki, taking him down. It's a silly free kick to give away there from Manuel Angel. No need for it. So now Real Mallorca back in possession once again. Not rushing it forward, just playing easy passes, keeping it simple. And whenever they can, they try and push forward a little bit. Mojica with the long ball. Looking for Vilamuriki down that left wing side. There's too much power on that pass. 23,015 fans today at the San Martin Stadium. Now here's Kylian Mbappe with a potential chance. He tries putting in the low cross into that second post. Here's Trent. And Trent tries putting the cross back in for Real Madrid, but in the end sends it over the crossbar, and a goal kick now for Leo Roman. It really hasn't been impressive so far from Real Madrid. You know, I think most people would have expected a bit more from them going into the second half. And I mean, it's only early, but at the minute, Real Mallorca looking like far more of the stronger side in the second half. And I think even in the first half, Real Madrid did play a lot better, but Real Mallorca, in general, offensively, defensively, just looking a lot stronger. So now a chance for Kylian Mbappe on the left wing. What can he do from here? Kylian Mbappe, he takes himself, he cuts in! And another big save there by Leo Roman to keep Real Mallorca in the lead. And another shot on target for Kylian Mbappe. Good tackle there from Samu Costa. It's going to be a throw-in for Real Madrid. Here's a look at the chance again from Kylian Mbappe. It's just not enough power on that shot from him. He just runs out of room. Can't get much of a powered shot on it. Now Eduardo Camavinga gets taken down. There's going to be no free kick, and the ball rolls out for a goal kick. Definitely looked like free kick for me. I think the referee just missed that one. Luvumbo commits. You can just see he puts his foot in there. He doesn't get the ball at all. I just think the referee might have missed that one. So now Leo Roman takes the goal kick, plays out. Looking for Vidal Muriqi. Mojica heads it on forward. Vidal Muriqi brings it down. Now here's a chance for Real Mallorca. What can he do from here? Vidal Muriqi gets taken down. Real Madrid get the ball. Now they can break on the counter-attack. Here's Kylian Mbappe on that left-hand side. He slows the play down. And Real Madrid wait for their players. They don't rush it forward. Now here's Mbappe again. Plays into Alvaro Carreras, who puts in the low cross. And the offside flag goes up. So nothing comes from that. And I mean, usually Real Madrid breaking on the counter-attack, usually a very strong side, but you can just see there, as they broke on the counter-attack, I think the first thing is they were a bit too slow. And then also, there was just no danger created from that counter-attack. And I mean, I think a lot of Real Mallorca shirts got back quickly. I think there was too many Real Mallorca players. But either way, Real Madrid, they just don't look dangerous in the offensive aspect at the minute. Defensively, they are staying strong. It just doesn't look like enough. And now, by the looks of it, Vinicius Jr. is getting ready to come on very, very soon. So it looks like we could be seeing changes being made. So Pablo Maffeo takes the throw in. Now the ball's been awarded to Real Madrid. 57 minutes in here now. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold with a lovely pass all the way out to the left-hand side. Here's Mbappe. Mbappe's going to switch it to the right. Miscalculated pass from him. Luckily, they still managed to keep the ball. Here's Mbappe. He's going to attempt the pass again. It works for him this time. Here's Manuel Angel. Trent Alexander. He plays it back into Camavinga. Camavinga looking for Mbappe, who attempts to volley. What an attempt that is from him there. What a shot that was from Kylian Mbappe. A brilliant effort. A really important block there from Pablo Maffeo. You can see he's got his hands on his head. The ball hit him so hard. What a shot. Absolute brilliant technique from Mbappe. A really important block. You can just see it hits him on the back of the head. It's gotta hurt. So now Real Madrid will be making 3 substitutions now. In the 58th minute, Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham and Eder Militao all coming on. Coming off is going to be Manuel Angel. Manuel Angel comes off. Camavinga comes off. And Dean Hudson comes off. So those are the 3 substitutions made now for Real Madrid. Coming off is Dean Hudson, Eduardo Camavinga and Manuel Angel. And coming on is Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, and Eder Militao. So 3 substitutions made for Real Madrid in the 58th, 59th minute. As you can see, Alvaro Arbeloa obviously not happy with how the dynamic's been going so far for Real Madrid. So 3 substitutions made, and can they make an impact on this one? Here's Vinicius Jr. straight off the bench. What can he do from here? Vinicius Jr. he cuts in! And a dangerous chance made from Vinicius Jr. But he was surrounded by Real Mallorca players. You can see Samu Costa and Pablo Maffeo. The tackle was made by Samu Costa. There's no penalty. It is going to be a goal kick. Vinicius Jr. claiming for a corner, but you can see that the referee spotted it very well. And already, you can already start to see discussions between Pablo Maffeo and Vinicius Jr., as we usually do see between these two players who are known for having a bit of a rivalry in the LaLiga division. So now here's Vinicius again, switching out to Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham playing it down into Trent. The 2 English players. Trent tries putting in the low cross. The cross was intercepted by Omar Mascarell. It's going to be a throw-in for Real Madrid. Here's Trent again. Plays it short into Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham turning around. He loses the ball. Jude Bellingham. The tackle committed there by Eder Militao, and he commits the foul on Vela Muriqi. So a free kick by Real Mallorca. And I'll tell you what, it's absolutely brilliant so far from Mallorca. The performance has just been so good. Defensively, they've been so solid. And when they get the ball back in this second half, it's been a lot better. They've managed to keep control of the ball, and when they get it back, they manage to make something from it. So now Maffeo giving the ball away there in a dangerous position, and Real Madrid are on the attack on that right hand side. It's Trent, and a poor cross there from Trent Alexander-Arnold as he sends it flying over everyone and straight out for a goal kick for Leo Roman. 62 minutes in here now. Just about 27 minutes left before the full-time whistle. And as it stands, Real Mallorca would be taking a huge 3 points if they can manage to walk away with this one as it stands. But of course, there's still plenty of time left to go. Now here's Mbappe into Bellingham. He plays into Vinicius. Arda Güler back to Vini. Vinicius gets taken down. The play continues. Here's Arda Güler again. He tries playing it into Alvaro Carreras. But the pass is far too heavy. And a big salute there between Samu Costa and Pablo Maffeo, celebrating that defensive play. And that's just absolutely brilliant. It's a clean tackle there from Maffeo. Nothing on that. Absolutely brilliant so far from Real Mallorca. But they have to stay focused. So now here's Lunin. Lunin into Antonio Rüdiger. Eder Militao. Here's Trent. Trent into Bellingham. Bellingham is going to switch it to the left-hand side. All the way out to Alvaro Carreras. Here's Vinicius. Vinicius looking for Mbappe. The pass was intercepted. It's going to be a free kick now for Real Madrid. They take it very quickly. Real Mallorca putting on the pressure, not giving Real Madrid an awful lot of room to play with. So now here's Antonio Rudiger. Alvaro Carreras into Vinicius. Here's Vinicius Jr. What can he do from here? In this left-hand side, he cuts in. Martin Valgent helping out Pablo Maffeo there, and he clears the ball. It's going to be a throw-in for Madrid. Now Mbappe attempting the long shot. Bit of a courageous effort there from Kylian Mbappe, but it just goes over the crossbar. Maybe just losing his patience a little bit. He attempts the shot there. Far off target. You can see Vinicius, he did well there. To skip past Maffeo. And one thing I've noticed in this matchup, defensively, how brilliant it's been from Real Mallorca is that on that left-hand side, Pablo Maffeo always has the help of Samu Costa. It's always a 2 versus 1. So now here's Luvumbo. He skips past Rudiger. He tries putting in the low cross into that second post. There was no one there. A brilliant effort there from Luvumbo. Lovely little skill. He skips past Antonio Rudiger. Puts in the low cross. There's just no one there in that second post. So now Real Mallorca in possession. Here's Johan Mojica into Darder. Sergi Darder does very well to skip past his man. He just turns around and walks through him. Absolutely brilliant. Here's Luvumbo now. Luvumbo cuts in again. He tries putting in the cross. The cross was blocked. It's going to be a corner. Look at Luvumbo celebrating with the fans. Tell you what, he's having a spectacular match, him, Luvumbo. Very skillful player. Just cuts in. Tries putting in the cross. The deflection goes out for a corner. Good result from him. He's been brilliant. He really has. So now Real Mallorca to take the corner, and it's Pablo Torre who's going to take it. Puts it into that second post. Lunin gets his hands on it. He takes it quickly. Now Real Madrid could break on the counter-attack. And in the end, the pass from Trent into Vinicius doesn't work out. It goes all the way to Leo Roman. Now Real Mallorca back in possession. Very soon approaching the 70th minute marker. And as it stands, Real Mallorca still in the lead. Here's Luvumbo. Back to Mojica. And now Johan Mojica plays it back to Omar Mascarell. Real Mallorca in possession. And in this second half, when it comes to possession, Real Mallorca have started to look a lot better in the second half when it comes to holding the ball. They've had a lot more of it. Here's Manu Morlanes, who plays into Samu Costa. Samu Costa looking for Luvumbo. The rebound falls to Pablo Torre. Mojica's going to take it himself down that left wing. He gets taken down. Does the referee award the free kick? He does award the free kick in the end. Brahim Diaz, you can just see there, puts his foot in. He takes him down. It's very good there from Mojica. What a performance it's been out here today from Real Mallorca. So now, 3 substitutions to be made for Real Mallorca. And I'm very surprised with that. 3 substitutions now. All made at once. The first to come off is going to be Pablo Torre. Alongside him is going to be Manu Morlanes. And then, so Manu Morlanes, Pablo Torre, and Samu Costa all coming off. And replacing them are going to be David Lopez, Matteo Joseph, and Gian Vidigili. 2 offensive substitutions and 1 defensive. So now Sergi Darder puts in the free kick. And Lunin makes himself wide and he catches the ball first. And Real Madrid, you can see there, Lunin passes the ball quickly. Real Madrid try and break on the counter-attack, but it just doesn't work out for them. So now here's Eder Militao, back to Lunin. Lunin into Antonio Rüdiger. Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni plays the long ball into Trent. Trent into Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham plays a lovely pass there into Mbappe. Here's Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe into Arda Güler, trying to find Vinicius. And they give the ball away. Real Madrid there. Luvumbo gets it back. He gets taken down. And it's going to be a free kick for Real Mallorca. How brilliant has Luvumbo been out there today? He's been absolutely spectacular, helping his team in and out. He really has made an impact on this matchup. So now Real Madrid making another substitution. Coming off is going to be Arda Güler, and coming on is going to be Pitarch, the number 45. And we've seen plenty of this youngster, Pitarch. And I'll tell you what, he really is a talented player. Can he help Real Madrid to try and get back into this one? It's been a spectacular half from Real Mallorca so far. Here's Gian Virgili up against Trent. And he does well, Gian Virgili, to get the corner for Real Mallorca. Skips past his man, he goes flying. He does well to get the corner now. And now Real Mallorca have a corner and maybe a chance to make it another one. Here's Sergi Darder. Sergi Darder putting in the cross. It's cleared by Antonio Rüdiger. It's going to be another corner for Real Mallorca. It's going to be Sergi Darder to put in the cross again. "73 minutes in here now, and as every minute goes by, Real Madrid don't have a lot of time to get back into it. Now Sergi Darder, he puts in the cross. Doesn't find anyone as Real Madrid deal with the danger. And Real Mallorca take the shot off, not risking any type of counter-attack, and it's going to be a goal kick for Real Madrid, who take it quickly. We're 74 minutes in here now, 16 minutes left, as Real Mallorca lead 1-0 here at the San Mas Stadium, with 16 minutes left to go. And it's really, really not been the match that Real Madrid would have wanted. And There's Antonio Rayo watching his team play along as the centre back is out injured currently for Real Mallorca. Now Vinicius Jr. on that left hand side. Plays it into Álvaro Carreras. Back to Vinicius. Here's Vinicius. Tries putting in the cross. It just doesn't work out for him. And in the end, Leo Roman picks it up. By the looks of it, Real Madrid are going to be making another substitution now. It looks like Mastantuano is going to be coming on for Real Madrid, but not sure if he's coming on yet, or maybe in the next play. The play is going to continue. With Amoriki, heads down forward to Luvumbo. Luvumbo gets taken down. No free kick awarded. So Real Madrid keep the play. Losing it in a dangerous position there, Real Madrid. Here's Mateo Joseph into Sergi Darder. He plays out wide into Mojica. Mojica into Gianvirgili. Gianvirgili losing it. Now a throw-in for Real Mallorca. And coming on is going to be Mastantuano. And he is going to be replacing Brahim Diaz. Mojica into Luvumbo. Luvumbo gets taken down. No free kick. Here's Jude Bellingham. Brilliant play here from Real Madrid. Here's Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. trying to play into Kylian Mbappe. The pass was cut out. Real Madrid still in possession. And they try playing the long ball into Vinicius, but the pass isn't good enough. It's going to be a throw-in for Real Mallorca. And 77 minutes in here now, 13 minutes left. The time is ticking shorter and shorter, and the fans in the stadium are getting more nervous every minute that goes by. What's a result this would be for Real Mallorca? Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold. He plays into Mastantuano. Back to Trent. Trent switches out to the left-hand side with a lovely pass. Here's Álvaro Carreras. Vinicius Jr. into Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni switching it. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold again. He puts in the low pass. He finds Mastantuano. Mastantuano to Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham to Tchouaméni, who takes the shot off. And the shot goes wide. So a goal kick for Real Mallorca. They do very well, Real Mallorca, not giving Real Madrid any room. You can just see Mateo Joseph closing him down. He just doesn't give him any room to get the shot off. And Tchouaméni is just forced to shoot earlier than he would like to. Really has been brilliant defensive awareness from this Real Mallorca team, which is something that we haven't seen very often at all this season. So now Antonio Rudiger. Here's Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. playing it into Álvaro Carreras. Álvaro Carreras getting taken down. It's going to be a free kick here for Real Madrid as David Lopez commits the foul. And there's not much on that at all. Not much on that. Surprised that the referee awarded that one. So now Kylian Mbappe to put in the set piece play for Real Madrid. And he puts in that cross. And it goes flying over the crossbar. The header from Eder Militao just isn't good enough. So now Leo Roman to take the goal kick again. 10 minutes left to go before the full-time whistle. But before Leo Roman takes the goal kick, there's going to be a substitution made here for Real Mallorca. By the looks of it, Luvumbo is going to be coming off. He's had a brilliant match. A big round of applause for him at the Son Stadium. He comes off, and replacing him is Antonio Sanchez. So with 10 minutes left to go, Real Mallorca make another substitution. And Leo Roman to take the goal kick for the winning side. And if Real Mallorca do manage to walk away with the 3 points out here today, it would be a huge blow for Elche and Levante, who haven't managed to get a result for their sides. And I'm sure most of them weren't expecting Real Mallorca to get much of a result out here today. So now here's Mastantuano. He loses possession as Mateo Joseph gets the ball back. He's going to take it himself. Mateo Joseph down the left wing. He's doing absolutely brilliant, skipping past everyone. And Real Madrid do get the ball back, but they can't keep it in play. So a throw-in for Real Mallorca. And a brilliant run there from Mateo Joseph. So now Mojica into Mateo Joseph. Back to Mojica. Mojica into Omar Mascarell. Into Mateo Joseph. Mojica again. Another throw-in for Mallorca. Here's Mojica to take the throw-in. He plays it into Sergi Darder. Sergi Darder gets taken down. A free kick from Mallorca. Oof, painful one that. He steps on the back of his heel. And that really, really does hurt. And you can see the away end for Real Madrid. These fans obviously not very happy with their side. It really has been a disappointing performance for Real Madrid. There still is time left to go. We're 83 minutes in, so 7 minutes left plus whatever is added on of extra time. But at the minute, it's not looking promising for Real Madrid. So a free kick for Real Mallorca. It's going to be Martin Valgent who's going to take it. There's been a yellow card awarded by the referee. He's awarded it to Martin Valgent for taking a bit too long to take the free kick. So now Mojica brings it down into Mateo Joseph. Omar Mascarell. All the way back to Leo Roman. Leo Roman kicks it up forward with A dangerous clearance. Now the ball is played through into Kylian Mbappe. What a tackle from David Lopez. A very, very important tackle as Kylian Mbappe was almost through on goal. So now Vinicius tries putting in the cross. It's blocked. 84 minutes and a half in. Here's Mbappe. Tries skipping past his man. He gets taken down, but there's no free kick. And Real Mallorca can break. Gian Virgili tries skipping past his man, but can't keep hold of it. The ball falls to Omar Mascarell in the end. He plays it into Antonio Sanchez, who can't keep hold of it. Here's Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe plays into Alvaro Carreras. David Lopez gets a touch on it. And it's going to be a goal kick for Real Mallorca. As the last touch, as you can see, came off of a Real Madrid player. There's the tackle there from David Lopez. So important. So important. What tackle that is from the young centre-back. So now Vedam Muriqi committing the foul. Real Madrid to take the free kick, and obviously they take it very, very quickly. Down that left-hand side, they find Kylian Mbappe. He tries cutting in, taking it forward. Vinicius Jr., he gets taken down. It's going to be a free kick. Now Vinicius Jr. can't make anything from that. Antonio Sanchez clears it up forward. Real Madrid playing it down this right hand side. Here's Trent. Trent into his England teammate Jude Bellingham. Here's Vinicius. Vinicius Jr. cutting in. He tries putting in the cross. The danger was dealt with by Martin Valgent. Could have been dangerous there. It's a good ball from Vinicius Jr. It's going to be a corner for Real Madrid. Trent Alexander-Arnold to take it. Puts in that cross, Trent. He does find Antonio Rudiger, who puts it into the back of the net. And Real Madrid have equalized from the corner. It's Eder Militao. It just looked like Antonio Rudiger got his head on it, but it actually bounced. As you can see there, off of Eder Militao. They both go up for Antonio Rudiger and Eder Militao. In the end, it's Militao. He gets his head on it and strikes it through. And Real Madrid have equalized from the corner. It's a brilliant header in the 88th minute. And what a shame this is here for Real Mallorca. And the match has already kicked off because Real Madrid are going for it. A long ball now into Kylian Mbappe. It's well defended by David Lopez. And Real Madrid, out of nowhere, within the last 2 minutes, score from the corner. It's Eder Militao. And now they're constantly searching for another. What a shame. Real Mallorca were playing so well in this second half. It's been an absolutely brilliant second half from Mallorca. And I can't quite believe that Real Madrid have equalized. There's still time for one more for either of these sides. Not sure if Real Mallorca will push much forward to get another. I think they'll just settle for the draw at this point. Now here's Jude Bellingham, who takes the shot off. And in the end, it wouldn't have counted either way, as I believe it was a free kick and a yellow card for Mastantuono. You can just see he does actually step on his foot. So it is a yellow card for him and a free kick for Real Mallorca. And we've now hit the 90th minute marker. And there's going to be 5 minutes added on of extra time. I thought there would have been a bit more. I could have imagined about 6 or 7 minutes. So now, what a ball that is there from Samu Costa into Mateo Joseph. Here's Vedan Muriqi. Vedan Muriqi puts it into the back of the net. And Real Mallorca have scored in the 90th minute. It's Vedan Muriqi, the Pirate, who takes the lead for Real Mallorca. 91 minutes in here now. Real Mallorca had just conceded in the 88th minute. And now, in the 90th, they've scored another. And of course, it's going to be the main man, the Pirates, the striker, who scores for Real Mallorca. And just look at how much it means to him. After losing just a few days ago in the World Cup qualifiers final for his national team Kosovo, he's gone out here today and he's scored for Real Mallorca to get the late minute winner for Real Mallorca. Look how much it means to him. The ball there from Antonio Sanchez into Mateo Joseph. Then the pass into Vedan Muriqi. He brings it down and absolutely smashes it with his right foot. Alvaro Carreras chases him down, but he can't get there on time. Lunin attempts to save, but there's not much he can do. What a way to end this match. I can't quite believe it. It's an absolute masterpiece of a matchup that we're seeing out here today. An absolutely brilliant match. 19 goals for him this season. And Real Mallorca have taken the lead within minutes left to go. So now here's Vinicius Jr. into Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe switches out to Mastantuono. Mastantuono tries putting in the cross. And Martin Valgent clearing it. Antonio Rudiger heads it into Eder Militao. Jan Virgili puts on the pressure. It's going to be a throw-in for Real Madrid. What a day it's been for Real Mallorca. If they can just hold on to this now. Here's Vinicius Jr. Tries cutting in. Vinicius Jr. He plays out wide to Trent. Trent into Mastantuono. Back to Trent. Trent fakes the cross. He puts it in. It's cleared by David Lopez. Now Real Madrid back in possession. 93 minutes and 40 seconds in. 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go. I can imagine that the referee will let it go on until about the 96th. Here's Pitarch. And in the end, the offside flag goes up. So a bit of a relief for Real Mallorca to have a bit of a breather now, to relax the game. And Real Madrid were claiming potential handball there from Mateo Joseph, but as you can see, there's nothing on it. So now Leo Roman plays it up forward. Vinicius Jr. brings it down. He tries playing a long ball into Kylian Mbappe. It's handball from Pitarch. So Thiago Pitarch commits the handball. Another bit of relief there for Real Madrid. So now Real Mallorca to take the free kick, and I'm more than sure that they'll waste plenty of time to take this one, as we're now in the 95th minute. How much longer will the referee let the play continue? 95 minutes in. Real Mallorca keep the possession. Here's Antonio Sanchez. He plays the long ball into Mateo Joseph. Tchouaméni keeps the ball in play, but it's a throw-in for Real Mallorca. And look at the fans in here, waving around, claiming for the full-time whistle. We're 95 and 30 seconds in here now. Vidal Muriqi just holding the ball by the corner flag. Real Madrid get it back. Mateo Joseph challenging the ball. Here's Omar Mascarell. He commits the foul. Now Tchouaméni has the free kick. 96 minutes in here now. We've been 1 minute past the plus added 5. And the referee still lets the play continue. Real Madrid play the long ball into Vinicius Jr., who brings it down. Antonio Sanchez defending it. Vinicius Jr., he does skip past Antonio Sanchez. He plays the ball into Jude Bellingham. And Jude Bellingham claims for the corner. But in the end, it's a goal kick. And look at the celebrations from Sergi Darder. It's going to be a goal kick now for Real Mallorca. 96 minutes and 40 seconds in. Is the referee going to blow his whistle? And he does so. And that is the full-time whistle here at the Sonma Stadium, where Real Mallorca have overcome the European giants, Real Madrid. Real Mallorca 2, Real Madrid 1. What a matchup we've had out here today. Look at the celebrations in that Sonma Stadium. Everyone is absolutely buzzing. The screams from Leo Roman, a brilliant keeper who kept Real Mallorca in this one today. And Kylian Mbappe and the Real Madrid players heading off of the pitch. Well, obviously very, very upset with their performance. And now you can see Jude Bellingham and Eder Militao just having a word there with the referee. But I think the referee's done alright out here today. I don't think the result had much to do with the referee, if I'm being completely honest. But you can see the frustrations from those Real Madrid players. Look at the look on Dani Carvajal on the bench. And you can just imagine the celebrations in this Sonma Stadium out there today. What a match. What a result. And those 3 points are massive for Real Mallorca. Absolutely massive. Jude Bellingham going over to clap to the away fans who came out here today to support their team onward. Look at the celebrations in here today. Look at all those red shirts. And the stadium is packed. And I'll tell you what, the 3 super points out there today are just absolutely massive for Real Mallorca. What a result it's been. And I mean, for the Real Mallorca fans, I can't even tell you how much this means to them, to us. It's absolutely brilliant. So with the 3 points out here today, you know, with Levante and Elche both taking a loss in their most recent La Liga match, Real Mallorca yet still had to play theirs, and they've taken a huge win, a huge 3 points out there today. The question is, where does that put them? Real Mallorca do go from 18th place to 17th place, and you might think that doesn't mean a lot, but they've gone from 28 points to 31. They now have taken a 2-point gap on Elche and a 4-point gap on Levante, taking them currently out of that relegation zone up against one of Europeans' best teams. Again, an absolute huge result from a match that no one expected from Real Mallorca to win out there today. And I mean, I'm just speechless, speechless. What a match it was out there today. And I mean, I can tell you, I think the points from Real Mallorca were fully deserved from that performance alone. But if you look at Real Mallorca's recent matches, you could argue, Real Mallorca don't deserve these 3 points. It doesn't make sense, not last week out, because that was international break, but last LaLiga match, so 2 weeks out, Real Mallorca played against Elche, where they were winning up until about the 89th minute, where they conceded 2 goals and they lost to Elche. And then we had the draw up against Osasuna, which is a decent result. But, the results haven't been great and the form hasn't exactly been great. But ever since the arrival from Martin de Michelis a few weeks ago, you can just see that the mindset, the dynamic for Real Mallorca has changed. It's been different. And I think, that change, we've seen it out here today. We really, really have seen it. There's a new type of energy in the team. There's a different type of performance. And it's strange, because defensively has been the worst point for Real Mallorca this season is the defense. But out here today, I watched that match and I thought absolute masterclass defensively from Real Mallorca. Absolutely brilliant. I've not seen a good team performance like that in a while, especially up against a team like Real Madrid, where offensively they have some of the best names in the world. You've got Kylian Mbappe up front, who's the leader for the most goals in LaLiga, with 23 goals to his name, and he's not managed to score out here today. And then you've got Vedat Muriqi, the second leader for the most goals in LaLiga, and he's managed to score. It just tells you how well the defense has played out there today for Real Mallorca. The team performance was brilliant, not just defensively, but offensively. You could argue that offensively, Real Mallorca didn't actually do much. They really didn't. They didn't actually have any huge chances. But I will say, Luvumbo, I think, absolute masterclass. Constantly getting the ball, dribbling past his man. He's very successful, putting in crosses, trying to find Vedat Muriqi constantly. And I will say, that last goal from Vedat Muriqi, absolutely spectacular. Seriously brilliant. So again, some of those offensive players did play very well, but when you talk about actual chances, Real Mallorca only had 6 shots and 2 on target. It didn't really do anything offensively, but the chances that they did have, they made the most of them. And I think that's the difference between, Real Mallorca and Real Madrid today. Real Madrid had 15 shots with 6 on target. Leo Roman made some brilliant saves. He deserves huge respect because he kept them in this one throughout the match, because they really did have some big shots. Kylian Mbappe had about 2 or 3 one-on-one chances, and Leo Roman saved them, so huge respect to him. And again, they didn't play great on the offensive, but defensively and as a team, everyone was doing their part. It was absolutely spectacular. Defensively, super solid. The midfield was doing good at getting the ball, switching it around, playing with calm. And the first half was good. It was decent. But the second half was just spectacular. I would argue that Mallorca dominated that second half. They took control of it. Whereas in the first half, I think it was edging a bit more towards Madrid, but good from both sides. So again, I just think spectacular matchup out there today. I think Mallorca absolutely deserved that win. Those 3 points are absolutely huge. Super 3 points for Real Mallorca. And that win, could potentially just have saved Real Mallorca from relegation. And I'll tell you why. Because, obviously they didn't expect that win. And just a huge win like that can just switch the mentality, can give a huge boost towards those Real Mallorca players, to the fans, to the manager, to everyone, to the staff, me, to everyone, to push their team on even more and push them on forward and forward, to keep on getting more points, to prove that they can beat big teams. If they can beat a Real Madrid out here today at home, then they can beat anyone here at home. So I think, those 3 points are massive when it comes to confidence, mentality, and not only that, also for the table. It takes them out of relegation zone. It gives them a big gap. That could have been, probably is, the most important win of the whole season, and the best performance we've seen all season. I'll say it. I think that's probably going to be the best. I don't think we're going to get better than that. And I will say, huge respect to those players out there today. I think Real Madrid, if we talk about their side of the match, if we talk about their side of the story, defensively in the first half, they did all right. They were good. Real Mallorca still had 2 or 3 chances in the first half, but defensively, I think Real Madrid in the first half did very well. And offensively, they did have a few good chances. For me, all the danger came from that left wing between Mbappe, Arda Güler, and Alvaro Carreras. I think those 3 were linking up very well. Mbappe had 2 or 3 through balls on goal, one-on-one. If he scored them, it would have been a different story out there today. But Leo Roman, again, made some brilliant saves. Real Madrid had the chances in the first half. They didn't make the most of them, and they weren't very good. And then in the second half, Real Mallorca, for me, just took control of the match. Defensively, offensively, there was a huge drop for Real Madrid. They didn't really do anything in the second half. And Real Mallorca, I just think they wanted it more. And I think that's why they won. They wanted it more. Defensively, brilliant. Everyone did their part. Vela Muriqi, what can you say about this man in his season he's having? What can you even say? 19 goals for him, scoring in the 90th minute. Just about a week ago, not even a week ago, a few days ago, his national team, Kosovo, lost in the final for the World Cup qualifiers. In the interview after, he was crying, he was very upset. And just a few days later, he goes and he scores in the 90th minute for his team to win up against one of the biggest teams in European football, Real Madrid. And that's how you do it. That's how you be a leader, and that's how you be a world-class striker. Absolutely brilliant from him. The second goal he produced, absolutely spectacular. You've got to give massive respect to Antonio Sanchez, who in that play gets the ball back, plays into Mateo Joseph, who then, plays into Muriqi with a brilliant pass, brilliant assist. And also, I think the difference was when Real Madrid missed the chance. I think their heads went down. I think they were upset about it. They were just like, it didn't look like they wanted it. But, in the first half, we saw Manu Morlanes miss a huge chance for Real Mallorca to take the lead. An easy, where all he had to do was just, head the ball in. He was a few yards out. Then, a few minutes later, he goes ahead and he scores a goal after missing that. I think that was the difference. Real Madrid, they just didn't want it. They had their heads down. Whereas Real Mallorca, they made a mistake or they weren't playing well. They'd all motivate each other. We saw huge motivation. Every tackle in that last minute, every foul they got, they would celebrate it. I think that's what got them the win, their mentality. So, huge result out there today. Absolutely brilliant. A big blow for Real Madrid. As I mentioned before kickoff, I think that missing Federico Valverde was going to be a huge miss for them today because he's a huge player for Real Madrid at the minute. And I think we saw out there today, you know, if Federico Valverde was there today, it could have been a different story. That's for sure. Also, a few yellow cards handed out to Real Mallorca, which means some of these players are going to miss their next match for Real Mallorca. I can't remember who it was. Martin Valgent got a yellow card, so he misses the next match for Real Mallorca. I think that's about it. Also, a yellow card that was awarded to Pablo Maffeo and for Leo Roman. And then one yellow card also handed out to Dean Hodgson and another for Mastantuono. So overall, you know, what more could you want out there today for a Real Mallorca fan? A brilliant win, a huge win for Real Mallorca. A massive 3 points to take them out of relegation against one of Europeans' best sides at home. A 90th minute goal by Vedan Muriqi. Absolute cinema. What more would you want? That is going to be the end of today's live stream from me here. Thank you so much for tuning in. What a result. What a week. And, you know, this was more than needed for those Real Mallorca fans. This is going to be huge, and this is going to have a huge impact on the rest of the season. I'm telling you now. I've been your host for today. My name is Daniel Armstrong. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, you leave a like, and you turn on post notifications. Have a good Easter, everybody, and not a la Madrid, but a la Real Mallorca. Take care, everybody.